Here we are, characters created. Now we're just going to let this thing run through all the scripts and set up everything in the background. As soon as we get the notification that the museum build out has been completed, we'll go through and we'll config the mod config menu settings. So this is going to take a while. Feel free to go get a beverage, whatever you need to do. This is my first time playing through with alternate perspective. I've always used Live Another Life before, so this is a little different. I like the dragon. It's a nice touch. As well, we have a few items that I custom placed here for my own enjoyment. Just to make things a little easier for me starting out beginning game. I like to cheat my games. My real life is challenging enough, so I like to make things a little easier wherever I can. Dimensional barrel, nice little place to hop away to. We have a selection of books here, and my swag bag, which, if you don't know, will help you hide those stolen items. I actually changed the item so that it removes the stolen flag. Very, very convenient if you like to pick things up like I do. And in here we have some weapons. I have added the Vicious Heart sword and dagger, as well as I've upgraded the bow. It's still pulling from a leveled list. It's just one tier higher. This cloak here, it's provided by another mod. I moved it because it kept getting stuck between the bed and the chest. I don't know if that was intentional or not, but I tweaked it so it was lying right on the bed. A little easier to find. I hate digging for things that fall through the cracks. It's really annoying. Get some food. And some drinks. Check out that note in a minute. What's in the strong box? Ah, yes. Got a bit of loot, as well as a couple things I added because I am using the DCR Knight outfit. At some point I'll be able to build that, and I found it just kind of a pain in the rear end looking for the ingredients to build it. So I stuffed a few in here for my convenience. Now let's read that note. I've recently arrived in Helgen and decided to rent a room in the Resting Pilgrim. If I decide to extend my stay, I should talk to the innkeeper Matlara. I have a feeling something interesting might happen if I do so. Well, having played this game before, I suspect you're probably right. And we have a small selection of armor, which I have not upgraded, because that's all good enough for me right now. And we're still building our list in the background. Scripts are still running, so maybe we can read a good book. Should we read a book? Let's read a book. Sneak Tools Volume 1 by the Gray Fox. a long time ago, somewhere in Tamriel. Hey, the museum building list has completed. All right, well, that was a good book. Moving on. Okay. We will finish reading our books there momentarily. Need to get that knowledge into our heads. Now, commences what has typically taken me about an hour to go through the mod config manager settings the way Lexy's guide shows. So be patient. You are really almost ready to play at this point. Here's my man. Not quite sure that I like that, but it'll work. I'm terrible at generating faces, so this is a pre-generated face I pulled from a mod. First thing mentioned in the guide is predator vision. This is integrally tied into the game, so if this doesn't work properly from the beginning, you're going to have problems. I've done this enough. Some of these settings I remember. And it still takes me an hour. There are different keys suggested in the guide, but I personally use H for something else, which you'll see here in a bit. So I'm going to use V. And now we're going to test that. Yeah, ugly, but it works. Also ugly, but seems to work. Okay, good. Continuing forward. Actually going to do a quick save here, just because that actually does not work fairly often when I start a new game. All right, back into the mod config. Matter of time. General. And we're going to add moon phases and seasons. Go over to display. Setting scale to 60%, if I recall correctly. 60. Come on, 60. There we go. And horizontal anchor is right. Horizontal offset is, what was it? I'm going to have to go look. Matter of time. There we are. Moon phases and seasons. And we are 60% right, -50, and 0 vertical offset. If I recall. And we're also right. -45 by 48. Scales getting 70%. Right. And we're also -45. And we are 57. This one. Okay. Double check that's correct. 45, 57, right. Okay. That is correct. Another little tweak I like to do is switch the clock and all that display to toggle. Because I like to turn it off sometimes. Portrait gameplay settings. player, NPC, fatigues. So persistent, I think it's persistent arrows too. Let's check. Yep, persistent arrows, that's it for it. Atlas map markers, we're just turning off the catchy caravans. Catchy caravans, nope, off. College winter hold, objectives delayed. Thane overhaul. Just adjusting the prices of homes there, I believe. Be nice if we could do that in real life, huh? 16,000 for a house? I'd pay that. $16,000, 10,000. What was Markarth? 20, 24, and 35. And 35. And our investment amount is going to be reduced to 1,000. Okay, confirm that. Yep, 1,000. Better face light. Enabled for player. Intensity level is 0.6. Enabled for player, 0.6. Okay. Some of these settings get saved when you start a new game, and some of them you have to reset. So, better third person, widget size, 2D widget size, 0.8. 2D widget size, 0.8. And what else do we need to set? Stealing while only undetected. Okay, some settings of filters. Undetected, sneaking, no stealing while sitting. Okay, looks like it retained those settings from my last setup. Cathedral weather, seasonal. Cathedral weather should be weather, seasonal perspective. Something's wrong here. Okay, we're just gonna menu altogether. Escape, mod config, cathedral weather, settings, weather, seasonal perspective. No, it's just me. I'm stupid and I didn't see the checkbox. Never mind. Complete crafting, break down recipes. Filters. And, okay. What else? Artifact replicas and matching circlets. Learning an XP, smithing experience. One, two. It's 20, right? 20, correct. Learning points required to craft 250. Oh, too much. mining presets, faster mining, and then we go to adjust firewood. Now, I know the guide calls for faster mining, but I find mining to be kind of tedious, so we're going to do that. And firewood, change that as recommended. 6:1. Take a look at the other settings here. I don't think I want to change anything else. At least not right now. So, yeah, that looks good. Okay, completionist. Menu mode HUD settings. Color only. Color only. And map markers. We're going to disable fishing markers. Deadly dragons, expert, and we're going to disable knockdown. Disparity. All right, so at this point, you need to know what kind of playthrough you're having. First time I ran through this, I was not prepared to answer these questions, and it was a mess. So, Bosmer male, level 60. Not level 60, weight 60. Yeah, that works just fine. And let's see. Use modified blessings, cleared. And we're going to move on to class selection. And I like to focus on archery. I know it's very popular, but I'm also going to do a lot of hand-to-hand fighting, so I just like to get the stealth going right away. This particular preset gives me a good start in that. Gives me some one-handed skill, archery, light armor, sneak, lockpicking, pickpocket. A little bit of alchemy, which honestly I don't use that much, but we'll see. Maybe this playthrough will be a little different. Alright, affects XP rate only. Make sure I'm happy with everything here. Healing. Instructions flame. Yeah, those will work. What else? Racial skills affect starting skill level. Starting skill level. Other options. Finalize. Yes, we do. You can go back and change that, but I think it probably works better if you don't. All right, diverse dragons. We are going to clear 3 options. And this is another dragon. Sanguine Vile, I believe. Let's double check that. Another Sanguine Vile, correct. Easy wheel. It's not something I've used a lot before, but maybe we'll get a chance to use that this playthrough. See what we got. Yep, okay. Activate. You have to drop back out of the menu, let it do its thing. Give it a moment to run its startup script. Reconfigure the menu. Okay, so we're ready to go back in. Easy wheel. General, use swap mode. Okay. Relief, whatever works for you. I've got a bunch of extra buttons on my mouse, so I'm going to select a couple of those. I'm okay with using K for that right now. I can change that if we do so later. Now we're going to clear Nether's framework. Configuration, we clear Sophia too because she annoys me, quite frankly. I don't know how much I'm going to use any of those, but we'll see. Wheel ID 2. And what was the configuration on that? Clear that. And we're going to do build a fire, instincts, harvest. Instincts. Come on. Harvest wood. Create item and fill. Fill. While I'm in here, I'm going to go ahead and set up wheel number 1 to go after Vilya, because I know there's a lot of hate for Vilya, but I happen to like her. So that's just the way it's going to be. If you don't like Vilya, well, we all have our own opinions, right? Be quiet. Yes, be quiet. What are your thoughts? And this place. Is there one other topic she has? Nope. Okay, that's all I'm going to do for now. It's a little bit of my own there. A little bit of Lexy's. Since I'm sitting here looking at it, I'm going to go ahead and give myself a lantern. So, okay. May have accidentally given myself 2 there. I guess we'll find out. Companions. Level 30, 40, and 60. And 60. That's it for that. Yep. EVG conditional idols. I've done this enough times. And besides which, these are my own personal preferences, so that works out pretty well for me. Expanded towns. I'm going to clear these 4. Straightforward. Experience. Is experience the next one? No, extended UI. Fail. Extended UI maximum value 744 hours. Should give you plenty of time to rest. Okay. Chimneys. Yep, I remember that correctly. No. That one. Short Stone, Carthwaston, new locations, Star, overhauls, expand. All right, Frostfall, which I am not going to use. However, we still have to turn it on, let all the scripts run before we can go ahead and disable it. So turn that on, exit the menu, sit back and relax. Maybe go get yourself a beverage. Maybe a nice warm beverage in honor of Frostfall. Frostfall is enabled. That's what you say, but I'm going to go ahead and wait just a little longer. Is that long enough? Did we wait long enough? It doesn't matter, I'm tired of waiting. No, not controls. Mod configuration, that's all right. Exit the menu, go back in. And Frostfall. View. Frostfall is disabled. Okay, now we're going to give it a minute for all the scripts to shut down. If there's one thing I've learned over the years of playing Skyrim is that you don't want to mess with the scripts. Just let them run, let them do their thing. Once they get fragmented and fractured and start losing their mind, that's when your save game becomes corrupted. It's usually way into the game too. Frostfall, GT softbody, we'll get back to that. What's my next mod? Just did Frostfall, immersive creatures, right. This is another mod where I kind of have my own preferences a little bit. Skeletal Resurrection, I find annoying. And we're going to disable specters altogether. Control, deactivating, is that right? Deactivate AI. Yes, disable the AI. How satisfying is that? Key press toggles, IHUD. Okay, and I can go back and tweak that again if I forgot something. So, key press toggles. What am I forgetting here? Enable fast fade. Stamina, magic. Okay, that's IHUD. Next on the list, immersive interactions. Compatibility loop messages, disabled. Waiting animations, disabled. Double check that. Yes, correct. Improved conversation camera. Camera default field of view is 85. 85 and 85 is previously set. Camera speed 1200. Which I believe is 1200. Switch target is cleared. Force third person head tracking, conversation, letterbox. Okay, those are all cleared. So we're good there. And Lydia's dialogue. We're just gonna shut her up about a couple of objections. Keep it clean. This is one that I definitely have some personal opinions on. Kind of like the idea, but again, it's just kind of annoying. So I'm going to nerf this pretty much as I can, but I will turn it on. No disease, bathroom feed, good. Disable the debuff, and start the mod. Okay. Leveling freedom. FXP level up 375. Level up multiplier. So going to change to 10. That's it for that lock overhaul. Activate. And of course we have to close the menu. Allow it to populate its new setup. Should be good. And back down to lock overhaul. General. Activate smash locks, yes. I don't think I want to change anything there. Yeah, weapons update. Magic, yes. Destruction skill, 0. I think there was one other thing I wanted to change. Nope. That's it. Okay. Ability reload bug fix. Basically, you just tick both the boxes. Legacy of the Dragonborn settings. Event pacing. Please be aware that once you have placed 50 displays in the museum, the ability to change the museum event pacing setting will be disabled permanently. Be absolutely sure of the level you have selected. The system recommended a setting based on the amount of possible displays you can have for the museum and is the best selection to spread Legacy's content out across your playthrough. Higher settings will mean slower progress and lower settings will mean quicker progress. If any tier options are disabled, it means that you can't possibly get enough displays to unlock some content. Noted. general settings, and we are going to crates everywhere. That's all is in the guide. I'm going to nerf this a bit because I mentioned being a cheater, and it's true. Just going to increase the chances here. 10% each. And 2 chances. We're going to drop that reset down to 15 days instead of 30. Archaeology. Nope, don't want to change anything there. Craft loot. Yeah, we're going to leave that as it is. So, good enough. Moonlight Tales. Got a couple things to switch there. Stagger loot. Okay. Blacks looks like it retained my settings from the last time. More HUD. Enemy level. And Nether is next. Change, wasn't it? Idle delay to 15. Got multi-level. Okay, mount support rating only. Gameplay bleed out. Should be it for Nethers. Yep. And the underwear distribution engine. My own preferences here. Actually created my own mod for this, so I've updated this to be topless rather than just straight naked, or it doesn't matter what that is because we're not playing a female character. Gradient requirements. Come on, you can do it. There we go. This MCM gets kind of slow. What are the settings? 35, 25, 15, 33, 40, 60, 25, 25. 15 and 30. Okay, good. Looks like that retained my settings from previous playthrough. Realistic room rental. I'm not going to bother to tweak that. Siga, basically turn it on, make sure it only affects NPCs. Good with that. Enable it, only affects NPCs. Set. Simplest horses. Control key golf. Ignore combat. Own mount is protected. Control key golf. Combat protected. Confirmed. Okay. And Sky UI. Small Celtic. General, small Celtic. Controls 5, 6, 7, 8. Advanced. SWF checking. Maps, favorites, inventory. Barter container crafting. Okay, looks like it's retained my settings from the previous playthrough. Now, strongly suggested you make a save game before continuing, because apparently this is very crashy. And being an old IT person, I absolutely believe in backing up your backups. So we're going to go ahead and make a save. Exit the menu all the way just to make sure the settings are confirmed. And I'm going to save again. Back to mod configuration. Where was I? Skyrim's unique treasures. Configuration. Lore-friendly items only. Which I believe is the only change we need to make. Yes. Storm lightning. Realistic. One fork only. Realistic? Realistic. I believe it's what it said. Realistic. Yes. Boring and realistic. Alright, realistic it is. Of course, if I did a better job of reading the instructions, I would remember that fork lightning in their settings. Let's see, minimum distance is 1. Okay. Sunhelm. Another mod that I am not going to use because I don't like making my life harder than it already is. So we're going to turn it on. Let it run its scripts. And we're going to turn it off. I think that may be long enough. Go back into mod config. All the way back down here to Sunhelm. And we'll turn it off. Yes, I do. Poof. Sunhelm disabled. Back to mod config. We're getting there. We are getting there. Sunhelm. Okay. What's next? Thieves Guild requirements. Now, I do plan on doing Thieves Guild, so this is relevant to me for sure. 25, 250, yep, 250. Radiant jobs completed. 20 and 35, 40 and 45. $45. Bedlam job 500. Bedlam job 500. Sinus options, I believe is next. $50.20 question markers. $50.20 question markers. Do I really want that to be stealing? I think I'm going to disable that. Timing is everything I believe is next. Come on. Come on, you can do it. Do I need to exit the menu and go back in again? All right, looks like I do. Tax 30, Dawn card recruitment 30. $30.35. $5 and $20. 20 set. Hearthfire level 20. $50 and $25. Other quests. $25.45. Vampires. Only cure, so 40, 30, 60. There we are, 40, 35, 40. Miscellaneous, the Wolf Awakened 47, 32, 32. $30, $30, $36, $75. Extra options, werewolf encounters. $315. Zero. 1,525. 5 include that. So you're at 5 and 100 or shiny. 5. So close to being done with that menu. All right. Trade and barter. Modify. Preset medium. True HUD. Player widget display. Player widget display criteria. Website banner. Boss bars. Anchor X and Y. 100, is that correct? Yep. Okay. Recent loot anchor 760. 760 looks like it's retained those settings. Down to V, Valhalla Combat. Enabled stun and execution. And just set up an alternate key with it. Disabled. Make sure that's the correct key. Right shift. That's it for Valhalla. Widget add-on. Widget position. 710 vertical anchor bottom. And I've already forgotten that. Up down position 710 vertical anchor bottom. Position. check that. 710 and bottom. Wildcat Combat. Oh, we're so almost done. Down to W. Disable slow at 0. Swimming stamina. Swimming stamina. Wildcat to manage difficulty. I believe we're going to set. Stamina cost to 0. So this is not me cheating. This is the recommended settings in the guide. Just putting it out there. Disable injuries and allow wildcat difficulty. Disable injuries right there. That's it for wildcat. Worm's Tooth General. We're so close. After the Horn of Jurgen and level 30. All right. That is it until we're actually out of the pre-start environment and into the game. So congratulations. Ready to, oh, yeah, we got to go configure my add-ins, don't we? Getting ahead of myself there. All right, so Sneak Tools, I already had a peek at that. Stealth detection fixes. Specific options. I am going to have to go back and read the documentation in this mod because I don't remember if I actually want to change any of those right now, so I'm just going to leave that alone. Smart Harvest, one of my favorite mods of all time because, well, hi, I'm a hoarder. That all comes from playing the first editions of the Baldur's Gate series, Icewind Dale and all that, where quest items weren't always very clearly marked, and inventory management was one of the challenges of the game. So, frequent mechanism was to overload the PC or party, and then you end up having to make decisions about what to keep and what to not keep, and invariably you run into a quest that you can't finish because of some object that you dropped in a random container, which is now respawned, or just plain have no idea where it was. So, I just keep everything from now on. I'm going to make a bunch of changes here. Basically grab everything and don't bother telling me about it unless it's something really noteworthy. Book spell always with notify, always without. So I don't need to know when I will pick up another book that I've already read. Don't tend to use scrolls, so don't care about that. Always enchanted, always with notify. I don't want to know about unenchanted things, but I do want to know about enchanted stuff that I probably won't pick it up anyways because of value, but no, come on, I skipped past it. Enchanted jewelry. Always with notify. Okay, that's it for that. The Saga of Garrett. Collections and Adventures. It's a really cool mod. I really like that one. What else do I need to configure here? O-body? If you've never used it before, O-body is basically just a randomizer for female bodies in the game. you like to have a little bit of variety like I do, like real life, it all depends on which character race menu presets you have downloaded, so go check out that mod. That sounds like something you'd like to play with. So there's got to be more than that. GT Soft Body, which is again a very cool mod. Adjusting the physics. Tends to be kind of an adult themed mod, so if you're not into adult stuff, you might give that one a miss. Although it doesn't have to be specifically for that sort of player. I'm certainly not the adult sort of experienced player. Conditional idols, yep, got that set. CDBE. A great shake. I like it. All right. I think that's it for now.